Yes.
Hey, what do you mean by a self paced course?
Well, the course material is available in the form of video lectures, and there are multiple practice problems that come along as well. So, you can access all of it anywhere, anytime, and they are available to you for lifetime.
No way.
Oh, yes, way. Don't delay and enroll now.
Geeks learning together.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Geeks for Geeks. My name is Muskan Agarwal and this webinar is a very special one. So before I begin with the webinar, just let me know in the comment section if I'm perfectly visible and audible to all of you. Yeah, I'm seeing the comment section. Please confirm me there. Okay. Okay, I can see a yes and a no. So can we get a few more yeses? So I'll just begin with the webinar quickly. Yes, perfectly visible and audible. Perfect. So before I add Ayush to the stream, I just want to tell you that like he is our ex-school ambassador, and not only that, he's also an ML engineer and a data scientist. And the most important thing I forgot to tell that he's in class ninth, right? So like without any further ado, just let me add him to the stream and let's listen it from him only. Hi Ayush,
Hi Muskan,
how are you?
I'm fine. What about you?
Yeah, I am fine too. I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Me
So,
too.
yeah, so Ayush, can you give a quickly a brief introduction about yourself so that the audience know better about you?
I'm currently in class ninth from Bihar, Patna. I have worked as a data scientist at Artifact, which was a product based company working on a large scale NLP products. I also worked as a deep learning engineer at Vision NLP, which was a service based company where I worked again on natural language processing stuff. Then I've also worked as a machine learning engineer and leaded some of the tasks at Amdena. And also I have been building Antern from a long period of time, and at Antern we develop advanced courses as well as some builds of AI stuff and recent technologies product. I also taught MLO1, machine learning for beginners, which got around 400K views. Also taught CSO1, which was advanced machine learning specialization, as currently I'm teaching MLO2, so teaching is also what I like. So that's it.
Yeah, he also has a YouTube channel of his
Yeah, I
own,
do have a YouTube channel, New Era, where I
right? So I think there are some network connectivity issues. Ayush, am I audible to you?
yeah, you are audible now.
I think your video is stuck. Okay, it's fine now. Cool.
Okay.
So, Ayush, my question to is you is like, how did you get started? What was your motivation? Like, how did you get to know about so many things at such a young age?
Uh, I had listened this question a lot of time previously. I used to answer, and I used to ignore because I want to tell in some podcast, because telling to every people is very hard for me at least. So it just started off with in lockdown. Means most of the people, mainly the teens, started off in lockdown, and I thought, okay, let's go in something that makes me out of the crowd or that make me exceptions, because when I used to see in my school, I see every student is just on the same page, and they all are learning the same thing. Just like there's someone is getting good marks and someone is not. So that stuck me. Okay, I do not want to be an average student, or maybe the topper student, because I just don't want to be that means learning the school content. So I and at that point I was not having any interest in computer science, as I was just uh, memorize all the stuff and then go there and write an examination, get the good marks. That was the flow at that point. And then I thought, then situation, lots of things occurred. Then after that I got to know about coding, and then I started off with it. And then slowly got more interest into this. Then I learned about programming. Then I learned about various languages like Python. Then thought of, okay, again, it is being learned by all of the people. I should do something different. So I tried web dev. I tried Android, but not too much. But I too tried web dev a lot, but it didn't work for me at least. Then I gone, okay, let's see data science, and then thought, okay, let's go ahead, because this is not common in which you'll see in today's era. So I thought, okay, let's give it a try. But the mathematics part was bit, I would say, big thing, like linear algebra, calculus, information theory, and I was not having an interest in maths at all. So I thought, let's give it a try. Then I eventually started getting interest into that, and slowly, I was getting interest into mathematics. And after that, I analyzed the beauty of maths. Then after that, I have interest in mathematics and computer science, mainly in AI engineering. So that was the motivation to make me out of the crowd.
Yeah, mainly your motivation was to do something what everyone is not doing, like to do something
Exactly,
apart from the crowd.
exactly.
Yeah. Also, guys, if you have any questions for Ayush, please feel free to put it in the comment section, and we will definitely take them during the end of the webinar. Cool.
Yeah.
So, for a school student, it can be really tough to understand what machine learning or what data science is. So, to lay out in simple terms, how will you explain these two terms to a school student?
Okay. So I'll start with definition of machine learning. Even I do fear, mainly when defining machine learning. It's the only reason is currently whatever the research trends is going on. It's kind of a, you can't exactly define universal definition of machine learning, as I have my own definition, other people having their own definition. So I'll say about my definition. So just a disclaimer about it. So I think about this is when you have your machine, or let's take an example of a baby learning stuff. So when a newborn baby grows up, so it recognizes the stuff, and then slowly it gets some data in his mind. For example, a baby identifying his mother, so he's seeing the mother a lot of times. That's why he's able to recognize his mother. The same way machine works, it sees the data, mainly the data, and identify patterns into that, and then make future predictions. Some of the example are that you want to predict the stock prices of a gold, what is the closing price of the gold. And there is some example of self-driving car, and then art generation. Nowadays jobs are replaceable, like even the artists are being I don't know if it is replaceable, but GANs, which is usually creating a very big or good art. So I think machine learning is basically identifying patterns from the data, and then whatever the data is, identify the patterns in that, and based on whatever you have learned from the data, and make intelligent predictions what you have learned. Coming to data science, it's more about helping business or entrepreneurs to take decisions. For example, mainly if you conducted a survey of who, like you conducted a survey, like telling how much percentage of people like live courses, or how much percentage of people like self-paced courses, which is lecture videos. So we see, mainly if we see the live courses has some parameters. So some parameters. So as an example of edtech company, so this is the work of a data scientist, to analyze the data and help businesses to take better decisions. So
Yeah.
that's the data science.
Okay. So, many people say that machine learning and deep learning, is the future. So, why do they say so? Like, what is the reason behind it?
So I think about it is, let me think about it a little bit. So I think machine learning and deep learning. I'll just start off with people don't
I
know
think,
about it. Um,
yeah,
Now I'm audible.
yeah, you're audible. Your video was stuck, but now it's fine.
Okay, so I think about this is deep learning is a particular kind of machine learning. For example, let's take an example. You have one apple. Okay, that's a machine learning. When you put different apple in the stack, that's become deep learning. So Deep learning is a kind of machine learning which is gaining popularity in these days. So, machine. If we say what's the future, or why it is even important for future generation, if we see in our era, like most of the companies, like many people want to get into Google, Microsoft. So most of the companies use machine learning that impacts their revenue generation a lot. So, say for an example, if you see your YouTube, then whatever the videos or whatever interests your life, so that's a recommendation engine which is being used. And YouTube has identified the large percentage of the click on the video is raised by your recommendation engine. So, machine learning is vastly used, as well as we will soon see. I don't know about India, but I will soon see in USA is, or the other foreign countries who are developed countries, is about. I have seen that many like softwares and hardwares even developed by machine learning and deep learning. And deep learning is currently doing state of the art works, or lots of works like art generation, then also music generation. It is also helping people to building a self-driving car. It is also helping to automate all the stuff as well. There are a lot of things which deep learning is achieving, and it's trying to mimic the brain. It's if I say, I'm not going to say that these machines, whatever is being developed, are intelligent. They are just mathematical models which are being developed. So I think mainly if you want to see, if you want to see pursue a career in this kind of software engineering, then I think machine learning is and deep learning is the future generation. Just like Web 3.0 came, and everyone is saying for like in future one. So I think machine learning and deep learning will play an important role in future era. Currently, it is in area of research. So I think it's important.
Yeah, that is really well said. But I've observed that most of the people go towards web development or Android development or feels like that, because many people, like when they start with ML, they start, but eventually they leave it. So, what is the reason? Why are people failing to learn artificial intelligence or ML or deep learning for that reason?
Okay, so I think about this is many people. I'll talk about teens first, mainly the
Hmm.
teens, the my age people. Is I have observed whoever the teens I meet is, um, I saw that they are learning everything. The first thing, they are learning everything at the same time. And I don't know if this is possible, if you want to learn everything in the same time. Because if I would have been done everything at the same time, I would have not reached whatever I am today. So that's why I think you should, one particular student tries to learn everything, tries to master everything, like web dev, AI, Android dev. And every domain requires you to have patience and dedication and eagerness to learn that thing. So I think about this, they lack in these stuff. That isn't the first thing which they hold key. First of all, key like I should not use, because it's kind of jealousy kind of thing that I have seen in my friends. So I think like he has achieved that way, so I should follow his path and get to that. But they haven't seen the 12 hours a day sitting on a computer and learning it. So it taken me a lot of time, it is it. So you have to dedicate your time in that. And people, mainly the teens, fail to dedicate the timing whichever the AI and ML requires. As a teen, it was very hard for me, at least, to get off with mathematics of that. Eventually, I was not having any interest into both of these areas, like computer science and mathematics. But I got interested in both. But you have to create your interest. So I
Yes.
think you should, yeah. Yeah. So I think many people, what they lack is they don't commit the time into the particular domain. Second thing, the dedication that AI and ML requires. You should be passionate about the thing, and if you want to become a passionate about something, you should follow your curiosity to do something in this area. So just see the applications, what you can do with it, and in starting, it may feel boring, but after that, it will give you a fruitful result.
With school kids, I think it is like if they fail like once, then they'll leave it. It should not be
Ah,
the case with you.
correct,
You should keep
correct,
trying
correct,
even if you fail,
correct,
right? And do not follow
correct.
anyone blindly. Just see what you want, and maybe your passion and their passion is not the same, right?
Yeah, correct, correct.
So the next thing, which is the title of this webinar, that all school kids should join coding contests. So why do you think it is important to start early and join contests at a early age?
Okay. So I think about this is, it's my personal opinion is, programming develops thinking called critical thinking, solving the particular approach about the something, and you get to know about Google. Like you know how to Google the things and etc. You do the research and then you learn about the particular stuff. So I think about this era which we are living in is here in. It's very very important. It's the only reason you get to explore the things. It develops your critical thinking. Critical thinking does not only develops which what you solve, like taking rationalizing the particular kind of stuff. So I don't want that you're just solving the problems, the same type of problems lots of times. It takes make your logic strong, learn about critical thinking, because in programming there's not about you code the particular thing. Many people when I was starting, I was just thinking you don't have to apply your mind, or just like write the knowledge of whatever you've studied. But eventually, when I started getting into this, there is something called as data structures and algorithms, which help you solve these problems. So it started developing your logics in this, and it helps in future works. So I think it's if you start early, then that's the first point which you will see, that your mind started developing. You will think about the problem in different view, and if you're solving some mathematical stuff, as well as you if you come on internet era, or you see the whatever the era which we're living in, you will you'll get to know about lots of things, like there's something called a Gen Z, who are there. So you will learn a lot from them. Even I do learn from lots of them. Now I can consider myself as a Gen Z. So I think about this. They will learn lots of things. Not only coding is what's the current market trend is. Currently, Web 3.0, blockchain. There are a lot of things. So it is running on. So I think it develops a critical thinking. It makes you aware of what is going on, and how the particular thing work in that software, or maybe in YouTube, how the videos are being recommended. And there are a lot of things. People love to make YouTube videos, but they do not know how the algorithm works of YouTube, how the recommendation system works, page rank, how it works. So I think you should know about the certain thing in depth. The second thing which I have noticed in the current era is, I'll talk about Bihar. Not lots of students are interested in it because they haven't explored anything till now. Because you can't tell that you have interest in that, just you haven't explored about it. You should explore a little bit about it, and then you have to decide which one interests, or which one not. So I think this in my school, there are only very few students who are actually interested in it. Yeah, so I think they should be interested in it. And one more thing which I want to say is, many people I have seen on my LinkedIn, and yeah, mostly on LinkedIn. People say that parents force the child to learn the coding and stuff. I just give them because even I got lots of comments that you ruined your life and lots of things. You haven't enjoyed your childhood. There are a lot of things which I had, which came in my comments. So a message to them is, I think. If someone is passionate about something, if you're doing music, or if you're playing guitar, that's your hobby, or you're passionate about this. So why someone don't tell that don't do music? Why someone okay, my son is playing music. So if we hear that someone is playing guitar, then we have some kind of appreciation for them. And when we hear that a person is doing coding, mainly the kid, then we have a de-appreciation for them,
Right. They
because I have some.
recognize everything.
Yeah. So that's the message to them. Let's see. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead with
Coding,
another question.
like coding is like a passion to people. Like many people
Yeah.
enjoy coding. So yeah,
Correct. Correct.
that is their enjoyment basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next question that I have is on projects. So how can one start like working on projects? And basically, as you said that you started working in school itself. So how can a school student find internships? Because if any ninth class student will go to a company and say, "Ki, I want to work," so normally nobody would want to, give them an internship or a job. So what are your suggestions for that?
I'll talk about my scenario first. Is
Hmm.
I got an internship in a US based funded startup. In India, it was a bit hard for me without experience. But outside that, they see talents. So I think about that. I through a platform which provides teens opportunities, because now we are seeing the graph of skilled teens are gradually growing, and they know lot much better than any graduates. Even I do teach lots of PhD
Definitely.
students, master
Hmm.
students, in my courses. So there are lots of other students as well. One of my friend James, who also teaches machine learning and stuff. I think one of the best teacher which I've ever seen in neural networks. So I
Hmm.
think if you want to work on a project, because getting an internship is not easy as a high school student. It's very hard for college. How you can
Right.
get in high school. So that's the first thing. So you need to showcase your skills as much as you can and make your application clean. In my case, when I applied to Artifact, I what I did, whatever the skills they have written, okay, I what I did is just explain my skills through the take home challenge they have given to me. So not they have asked me to do machine learning, but the skill was also deep learning, which was there, an experience bonus. So I showed all my skills and my writing skills, whatever my coding skills, analysis skills, everything I show there, and then that makes my application green. And making an application clean, because there are a lot of people competition wise, so there are a lot of things which is going on, which is the competition is very high in this era. So I think about this is you should make your application clean, or you should cold email the founders. I do the same. You should cold email the professors, because many people ask me, how do you get to find how do you network with people who are in IIT Bombay, then Oxford? There are lots of universities. So I just say do cold emailing. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. So it just takes you 1 minute. Make a template. I had made my template. I just replace hi dash whatever the name of the people is, write the same thing and send the email. So that's how mine works, is cold emailing this stuff. And then sometimes I get the reply, and that works for me. Coming to how one can get started in working on a project, I'll talk about you should like not specifically about machine learning. I'll talk about all the area which you want to work on. First of all, quality is greater than quantity. Okay, so if you have one application which shows all the skills, that's enough for shortlisting. So I have seen very good developers, web developers. One of my friend Tushar, I think about this. He's a very good web developer, but the project he has is not showcasing his that much skill. Okay, so I think you should showcase every aspect of your skill, whatever in that particular project, if it's solving a real world problem or not. So make sure that it's solving a very real world problem. You don't do any clones of any website or anything. Just start with the solving a particular problem, and then that's what I did. So just start on, and then you'll be able to make a structure a good project.
So, as you mentioned projects, do you have any suggestions, like maybe 2 to 3 projects that you can advise for the students to work on, because they're really confused that what should I work on? So, any
Correct,
suggestions?
correct. Coming to machine learning and deep learning, I think mm, you should work on solving a problem which is stock market price predictor, or you should work on predicting. You should work on a particular project like given image of wireframe by handwritten, you should convert it to the HTML page. Okay, So this is a cool project which solves real world problem. You should make a system that in education that identifies the concentration of a particular student in a Zoom classes, and maybe you can work on a system which is data centric, is identifying your technique for data collection, then data labeling. So you can make a tool for data collection that makes it easy. So these are for machine learning. And for web dev, I would say if you're in other domains, then I suggest you to work on problems like creating that will helpful for the community. Like you can create a system that takes a YouTube video and generates the quizzes, and taking the quizzes from Google, and then putting it and for evaluation of the skill on the particular topic. So, for an example, if the particular student is completed the YouTube video, then questions will be generated for the user. So that's helpful for the community.
Yeah. So one more thing for school students, if you are watching it and you don't know what cold emailing is, as Ayush mentioned, so basically it is like writing mail to a person, like if you guys don't know each other, or like you know that
Yeah,
person, but the other person doesn't know you. So
yeah,
school students
and
talk with
that
them.
person is little bit bigger. Okay, that's
Yeah,
why. That's
very
it.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. And cold emailing actually helps. Like it has helped me a lot. And I see like
Yeah.
if people do respond. If you write the mail correctly and you write a catchy title, people do respond, right?
Yeah.
So
Correct.
yeah. And another thing, Ayush, as you mentioned, that it can be very overwhelming for a school student. Like that person is applying, and suppose I'm taking part in some contest, or I'm working in a company with other experienced people. So it might be overwhelming sometimes, maybe for you, like, seeing so many experienced people. So, how do you cope with all of that?
Um, for me, when I was at Artifact, where the students, sorry, I'm saying students, where my leads and my team members who had decades of experience, like 17 years experience, 25 years experience, they have worked in big tech companies like Amazon, from CMU, then IBM. So I was a little bit scared that how they will treat me, and am I going to achieve their expectations or not. So
Yes.
but after I realized they all are down to earth person, they're not in attitude or something like that. And then my workplace was going very fine. I was doing good job. I was getting good feedbacks. I was improving day by day, and working with them people was not at all overwhelming for me, at least, because when there is a holiday in my organization, I used to feel bored. What Because every when you talk with like-minded people, you want to talk more about the particular subject. So when there is like Saturday and Sunday, they're just completely vanished from Slack. So I thought, where are you guys? Just come over here. So I think I love the work at every company which I have worked till now. I even the love to work at Anton, which is my company. And yeah, so I think uh, it was not at all overwhelming for me, but competing with experienced people was kind of you have a competitive nature. My nature was always competitive nature. I compete with people's mainly Many people say that you compete with yourself, get a better version of yourself. But the thing is that you should but the thing is you in real world scenario, you actually compete with people, you don't compete with yourself. Okay, so that's the very good misconception which I've heard of, and I think you should compete with people's, not by yourself. When you see a people at advanced stage, you want to get there. So it's better to be jealous. It's okay to be jealous, as well as the same time you should be competitive nature. That beats that guy. If the guy is Kaggle grandmaster and you're a Kaggle novice, then after some amount of work, you'll be also there.
Yeah, I think healthy competition can take you a long way.
Yeah, correct.
And it is important also, I think, to like कि मुझे ये करना है, that person, this person is doing, or I have to learn this. I think it is important.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Apart from that, Ayush, what, like, you took part in so many contests and everything, so what were the major takeaways or the key learnings of Like, what were your key learnings of all those contests that you participated in?
Okay. So I think there are tons of learning opportunities which I got from coding contests. Though the major thing which I've learned is debugging, is how do you make your code correct, and how do you write production level code. You just not only write the code that works. You should write the code that is quality code, and you should maintain a dry principle. You should do lots of stuff like handling all the exceptions, testing that code on each and every test case which you can ever imagine. And when a unit tester comes and then make your code fails, then debug it. So there are a lot of things which I've learned is mainly in all over is writing production level code. That how actually everything works in production, how we send the particular product in production, and how we, if the product fail or if the server fail, whatever, then how we debug it. So say for an example, we have a Q&A system that is you have a Q&A system which is sent in production. Now it suddenly failed. So you will get an alert, then you will have to debug it, and that's the best feeling ever when you're no, I'm saying best feeling is the only reason I get to debug my code, because sometimes I do like debugging, sometimes I make my friends to debug my code. So it's sometimes that's based upon my mood, whatever I like about it. So writing production level code and how the industry works. So that's what it is.
Yeah, it's so good to, see school students. You're still in class ninth, and it's overwhelming for me, like, data structures and production level code, debugging. I came to know about all these terms when I came in college. So, yeah, you were really ahead of your time, I think.
Many people from this industry who are my students, CSO1,
Mm.
she's currently in Google as a SDE. I have to see what's the exact designation, but I think she also said a lot to me that you are a lot ahead of me, and how I can get you there. But I love to help people's who are in tier 3 colleges, tier 2 colleges, and get to achieve their goal. Because I'm under 18, I can't get in Google or Microsoft, whoever. But my dream companies are not that. But their whatever the tier 3, but their dream companies are Google, Microsoft, and lots of things. So after I learned all the stuff, I teach my students who they got some package, like they also got in Google. One is in Google, and there are lots of people who got in good companies. So I think if I can't get in Google, but I can help someone to get in Google. So I don't have dream companies like that, but yeah, some other dream companies that I can help them, and help them to achieve their goals. So it's okay if you're if I'm ahead, I'm just early. If I would have been
Right.
college, then it would just a time extension. So it's totally okay if you're ahead of this, because I heard a lot of things. The college students is saying that I've been demotivated after seeing you, because when my course launched on free code camp, it was like I got some of the comments like feeling happy for this kid, but at the same time feeling depressed. So this was the most epic comment which I have ever seen. So I thought,
Yeah.
why you're feeling depressed? I thought actually 10 hours of machine or whatever I was having in my mind. I thought that you should also get the same knowledge and get the same, although get the machine learning. So they thought feeling happy for the kid. Okay, thanks for the appreciation, and feeling depressed. So what's your take? It's an appreciation or de-appreciation for me at least. So it's just totally okay. I'm just ahead of the time. That's it.
Yeah, right. And there is no like such thing that only you can learn machine learning in college or school. Even if you are out of
Yeah,
college, you've done college and you want to start learning coding, you can definitely, I think, go for it. Right. Let age
yeah.
not be a barrier for anything.
Yeah, because the age 6, so Warner is Bari done PhD. Then at age 6, then who are we? We are, yeah.
And these days, I'm seeing school kids like they've started their own YouTube channels as you also have, and I'm seeing a lot of coding culture in from school itself, right? Like when I was in
Mhm.
school, there was not that much of coding culture. There was like one or two tech kids who used to do coding, and everyone was impressed. Like this person made website. Oh wow! But now it's like everyone is doing it. It's really great
Yeah,
to see that.
correct.
Okay, so my last question to you would be if there would be any three advices that you want to give to the school students or a person or a school student who is watching this, what would it be?
Mm,
Anything?
I and anything, yeah, anything. I
Yeah.
think first advice would be do learn about the particular subject in depth. When you are learning, don't do partial knowledge. Whatever you do, like learning about everything at the same time, it's okay to explore about this, but you can't tell that you know about that thing if you have the partial knowledge. So you should have a complete knowledge about the particular thing. Even I'm trying to have a complete knowledge, but will take me lots of years to have a complete knowledge of a machine. It's continuously growing, but at least you should be having a good level of knowledge in that particular domain. So that's the first advice. Don't be a partial knowledge. For example, if you know about gradient descent, you should know about its assumptions, what the assumption says. Mainly, you just know the implementation, but before implementing that, you have to assume something. Otherwise, it will not work. So that's the first thing. The second thing which I would recommend is it's not okay to only I would say it's totally okay if you want to learn, but at the same time you should focus on your having fun at the same time. If you, I do have fun with my computer always, like doing some stuff, generating arts, playing with games, etc. That's my fun. But when I'm in school, then I have fun there as well. I don't be a silent student who just opens up the copy and then right there. I'm not like that. I enjoy when I go to school. Then I'm not. I don't assume myself as a senior uh, a data scientist or lead ML engineer. I just assume as a normal student and barely told my school to that I'm a data scientist, a machine learning engineer. So have fun is the by learning, and it's always okay if you're learning and having fun. That's totally okay. That's the second. Third is you should be having. I would say if you're starting early, please start from a base, generate a good baseline, and then build on top of it, because base is which is very strong. It works in competitions. When I was in competition, I first develop a baseline and then build upon that. And in my research paper, which I'm working on, is the Q&A system for English, is building of the baseline and then experiment with lots of approaches. Like mainly my expertise in natural language processing, so that's why this particular domain. So build up the baseline as and then build on that, and then you'll be having key. It's people tend to do study a little bit math, and then they jump on principal component analysis. When they see something like covariance matrix, eigenvectors, and eigenvalues, they just come back to base. Again, they go to the top. Again, they come back. So this is a loop kind of stuff. So I think you should focus on base first and then build on top of it.
Just one more thing, like as you mentioned school, so how do you manage your time because you're already doing so much? So is it like at the cost of your academics or you manage that also? Just that
I
question.
I I do have to prepare for a JEE and then
Okay.
uh, yeah, SAT. I want to go in MIT and Stanford, and I got recommended by MIT as well for the courses which I developed of machine learning. So I think if I get a chance to study in MIT, well then enough. But I'll do prepare for SAT as well as JEE, and if I see that whatever the content by which I've learned is syllabus of math like calculus 1, then multivariable calculus, single variable calculus, linear algebra, information theory, discrete maths. There are lots of things which I've already covered, even of engineering mathematics, and lots of stuff which are ahead of the syllabus. What do I need to do is to practice it out the stuff, think about the approaches of solving the particular problem in very quickest way. So coming to, I'll prepare for this, but how do I manage it? It's complete the particular thing as fast as I can. It's class 10th is going to start now. Just after class 9 end, I'll just take around 1 month to complete every whatever the 10th syllabus is, so that I can just leave my 11 months of that in developing my skills. So in one, I do have my confidence that I can just complete in 1 month everything, and then after that I'll just start off with whatever. And I do study 2 to 3 hours, maybe sometimes 1 hours or 2 hours in just academics, and that works because when you have the mind developed at that point, then whatever the concept which you'll see is able to grasp it. So
Yeah, that is really nice.
yeah.
These were all the questions from my side. So, guys, if you have any other question, we'll wait for 1 minute. Please put it in the comment section and I'll try to put it in front of Ayush. Otherwise, we'll just end with the webinar. We'll wait just for 1 minute. You can put your questions. Oh, Neeraj has asked that should you take commerce stream for an IT career?
I have taken ninth grader, then I meant IT career, then whatever the stream which you can take does not matter. You should be good in IT career.
That is a really good answer. Yes, definitely. But if you want to, if you are really sure that you want to pursue your career in IT, then why take commerce? Like, if you're really sure about that. Otherwise, if
Huh.
you have already taken commerce, then that's a different thing.
Yeah, you have
But
seen mechanical engineer from NIT, okay, thinking about dropping it because at till class 12 he was having interest, but when he got in college, he got interest in data science, lose
hmm,
interest in mechanical engineering.
yeah,
Hi Amit,
okay.
Amit Bagal is there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess we do not have any more questions. Guys, if you have any other questions, we'll wait for another 1 minute.
That's the
Okay.
vision of Anakin.
Yeah, what's the vision?
Uh, at Antone, we focus on helping peoples out here to develop, first of all, building up advanced courses, focusing on future of edtech, decentralized and university, as well as working on creating the metaverse in education, uh, creating content that how people can use AR VR to learn about the concept. Say, for example, if the child wants to learn about a particular thing, they got to know more about when the particular visualization comes in. Okay, so that's the first thing which I've ever seen is helping peoples out here to uh, understand the concept more perfectly. Second is helping peoples to understand the core of particular things. If in machine learning, I'll take an example of machine learning, but it's for all area. Is if we talk about specifically for machine learning, then we should know about we just people write it out lots of equations out here and then you're done with the algorithm. But how does it work in high dimensional spaces? That's the first and foremost thing which I haven't seen anyone has ever done in this era is making the things up or good in 3D view or a high dimensional spaces. So I think that's what we are going to achieve is making education or lectures more understandable, not only with the help of equations, telling how the equations comes in and how you can imagine or how it makes sense the particular equation. Coming to how, there's a lot of things which we're working on is creating advanced courses. It's for the people who want to get into some company like Google, Microsoft, whatever. So we help people with this, help them to do research in the particular domain. Sure. So these are some of the sessions which I think we'll talk about how do you plan to grow it in later session.
Cool, cool. Thank you so much, Ayush, for answering so many questions. I hope it helps a lot of school students who are, watching this. Yeah, it was really insightful. Apart from that, if you guys have any questions, like I will link Ayush's LinkedIn in the description box. You can definitely try to connect with him and also check out his YouTube channel. The description to which would be in the description, the link to which would be in the description box below. Okay, thank you so much, Ayush, for joining in.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, guys, for joining in. Bye bye. We'll see you in the next webinar. Bye.